I don't hear anything.
Oh, I got it going. How about now?
We live now.
Yeah, my bad. That's what I'm listening to over here. You hear that? Happy Friday. Savory got the guns out. He's getting in uniform behind the screens here, y'all. He's getting in uniform.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, baby.
Let me connect my headphones right here.
Yeah, do you think? Do you think we vibing right now? You hear that?
All right.
I got some Majul
Sound
dates
coming
over
in.
here. Those things are good. How we coming in? You coming in loud and clear over there or no?
Am I good? Am I clear? Am I too loud? I'll be too loud sometimes. I'm good? My mic is good?
No. Don't ever lie to yourself. You sound great, brother. You know what I'm saying? This is the encouragement corner over here. Drinks with a nobody, baby.
Showtime.
How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. My daughter.
The music is different.
Yeah. Friday feels.
How about we open up with the infamous Victor David Hansen?
Let's do it. Then I'll take us through that intro.
Yeah, let's get this going, y'all. Let's get this going.
Right now, many Americans have to be vaccinated against the COVID virus, or they were not allowed to teach, or they're not allowed to work in a hospital. Yet the 2 million people that are coming across the border, there's no requirement that they be tested, or there's no requirement that they be vaccinated. So the United States of all countries...
Yeah, so what we're about to watch here, just so we don't get hit with copyright, what we're about to watch here is Victor David Hansen, who is a professor and a tenured professor at the Hoover Institution, is going to explain the whole idea of illegal and legal immigration from a historical and current point of view in just 3 minutes.
A little bit of COVID sprinkle in there too. Beautiful.
You saw that. You saw that.
Countries in the world, at its very founding, had the idea that you could become an American if you crossed the borders and you accepted the American idea. So when people came from diverse countries, they had skills, they spoke English, and they came legally, and there was not whole blocks of ethnic castes that had grievances or they had difficulties in assimilation with the majority population. And more importantly, legal immigration was welcome.
So they didn't have grievances, Savory. They came here with hope and dreams in their heart just to get in here and let's get in there. Whatever it is that you need me to do to become an American citizen, I'm all for it.
Because it kind of reminded Americans that there were people who were very competitive and they wanted this system of free market economics, constitutional government, a Bill of Rights that was lacking in their home country. What happens when the host itself, i.e. the United States, has lost confidence in its traditions and customs and doesn't feel that it should or has a right or it wouldn't be nice to impose their values on people who are arriving across a border. Then immigration turns from something very desirable and positive to something that can be very pernicious and dangerous. The corporate establishment has been a big advocate of open borders. And it's been very hard to write op-eds for the Wall Street Journal or talk to the Chamber of Commerce because they feel that immigration, even if it's illegal, is very good for...
So he's kind of describing this monopoly around why we have open borders when it comes to these ideas, these elites and people, right? From what I'm understanding here. Wow.
Yeah. Why don't we,
very interesting.
Before we end this video, why don't we roll that intro?
Let's go. Let's get into this.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drinks with a Nobody. Got the boy Macho on the right hand, at least my right side. Macho, Savvy right here coming at you. We're really excited about today's episode, man. We hitting on Omicron, and I said it right? Omicron or Omicron, am I saying that right? And the southern border, right? So we're hitting on what this all means in relation to breaking news, what's happening, and different perspectives out there. So stay tuned. Again, we'll go through the rundown of where you can find us, but we do want to get straight to it to give you some good content and all that. So
don't worry about it. I got those captions for you.
But yeah, without further ado, I think we should get. Oh, you want to go to the rundown, right? Follow us on Twitch. Found us on Twitch, Macho Fig Savory Edition. Follow us on Twitter, same handles, don't miss it. Follow us on TikTok, we both go live, having fun out there. Instagram, Drinks with a Nobody. Discord, Drinks with a Nobody. And if you're here right now, you're likely on our YouTube channel, making it happen, supporting. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you never miss a beat when you hit that notification bell.
Boom.
Love y'all. Thanks y'all for joining, and we are out here. That was a quick rundown. We gave it a quick rundown. Nonetheless, yo, Macho, let's get straight to this. I'm excited about this. Let's go.
And this is going to lead right into our first segment. So let's finish this this clipping here.
Very good for their own bottom line. And the Democratic Party said, if you come illegally, we will ensure that you will not be subject to the enforcement of immigration laws. We will provide you with entitlements, but we expect in exchange fealty and loyalty and fidelity at the polls. And it explains why now we do not enforce immigration law. Because too many parties have too many vested interests, and we look at the border and it is a construct. It doesn't exist in reality. People are simply walking across, and you have people coming in vast numbers from one direction. They do not speak English. They're not legal. And we, the host, are not the host that we have been from the prior 280 years. But we feel diffident, lack of confidence about our own system. We don't feel we want to impose on our new visitors. We feel it would be cultural appropriation to tell them that this system is better than the one they're leaving. You add all of that up and you have chaos and the erosion of the idea of citizenship.
And there it is. Victor David Hanson on his perspective on the immigration and illegal or legal immigration status for our first segment, Savory. Immediately, I hear that you said it's powerful. So I guess you're leaning. I want to know what's going on here. Give your perspective. Vote yay or nay on In the Mind's
Business. It's your first time watching Macho now. Y'all already know how I lean when it comes to this. When it comes to somebody sharing their perspective, when I don't feel you're giving me a political lenience towards something, but you're giving me a reality, I like that. Even if I might not be fully on board with you, I like the reality. I'm a vote. He should not mind his business, because we need people exposing the opposite of what mainstream media is exposing, of what the political pundits on both sides are exposing. People can argue this could be a little more conservative kind of on the side, but it's more the reality on the border. People are starting to agree on a reality. You might not agree on how to exercise the next steps after that reality, but the reality is, look, we don't have border. Trump in many ways exposed it. Obama was deporting people. It's been a threat in our democracy for a while, or a problem, let's say, in our democracy.
And he goes on to this whole idea that it's a concept. The border is a concept. It's not even real. It's not even physical. It's not even tangible. And it becomes this political war that people benefit off of, right? He hits on all those things. So I too vote for him not to mind his business. Great job,
Yo, Macho. What you drinking, by the way?
I'm drinking black coffee from Black Rifle. Black Rifle Coffee, man. They are great.
It's been a little bit since I had a drink. I did myself a little old-fashioned here.
Ooh.
My drink, poured the little old-fashioned syrup, so I didn't do it the original way, but it came out wonderful. Anyways.
All those in attendance, vote yay or nay on Mr. Victor or Professor Victor David Hanson to either mind his business or not mind his business. We need more of his information out there perpetuated to the world. That I mean, there was very powerful stuff, like you said.
That's a great opening, man. Yeah. What else we got here?
while this may be highly transmissible, at least from the early evidence, and again, more information is still forthcoming.
Excuse
we
me,
want
excuse
you to
me.
know that the early cases that have
Excuse
arisen
me.
are not.
What do you got here? What do you got here?
She scares me. No, she seriously does. That's
You
all I gotta
cannot-
say.
you
This
cannot
woman
discredit
truly,
her because she scares you.
you know,
You
she
can't
she
discredit
just
her.
she's is that person. Like, I don't know. And again, this is not facts, guys. Disclaimer. This is not this is just, well, a little bit facts from what I see in her rhetoric sometimes. It's like, yo, she's okay with, like, she's the type of person that's okay with a government takeover, I feel. I know I said extent to people. It's crazy. But anyways, let's keep playing this. I need to say that, get that off my
You
chest.
can't just discredit her because you get scared, Savory. I mean,
Bro,
are you
does
really
she
having
has
nightmares
does she have the
at night?
vax? Does she have the vax chain on, bro? These are things that are just not normal.
guy-
This is
guy
not
today.
normal,
What
bro.
is in that drink of yours, man?
Yo, yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Let me take another sip of this.
I'm gonna have to go through some customs on that drink, bro.
Not life-threatening. They seem to be minor cases, and that is a source of good news for us right now. But in terms of the information we received, literally there are 5 cases identified today in the state of New York. The first one was in Suffolk County. I've been in communication with the county executive, Steve Ballone, to alert him. This came out of a lab that is in Suffolk, and it was a 67-year-old female who had symptoms, mild symptoms of a headache and a cough. There is some vaccination history. We don't know if it's 1 vaccination, 2, or a booster shot, and that information.
Some vaccination history. I mean,
We don't know. We don't know if it's 1, 2, a booster. We don't know if she got the original one. We don't know if she got the Pfizer. She might have got the black market one. She got them. I don't.
But
we
you know
don't
she
know.
got the variant. But you know she got the variant. But you know nothing else. But you know she got the variant.
This is incredible.
Oh
man.
my god. And that was Governor Hochul of New York giving an update. You can watch the rest of that clip on YouTube where she talks about the various cases. And then our boy, the gift that keeps on giving, de Blasio, talks about demanding to get everyone vaccinated. I saw an article, Savory, in the New York Post that he's even mandating the vaccine on the private schools or like religious environments. It's like, yo, what do you, bro?
Yeah, it's King
Who are
Biden.
you?
Watch your mouth. Yo, watch your mouth,
Yo,
bro.
stay in your lane. We already have a king. He's in Washington, D.C. What's wrong with you?
This guy's out of control, man.
But we also have your favorite doctor in the universe, by the way. And he spoke on a
I'm out.
Wait. You don't even know what doctor I'm talking about. Wait,
Yeah.
slow your
I'm
roll.
gonna leave, guys. I'm gonna leave Macho on the screen alone. I'm out.
Look, you have no clue as to who I'm referring to. Can you give it a second here, or
Let's see what we're talking about here?
Your favorite doctor at the White House briefing on December 1st, where he talks about some things that I found very, very interesting. Check this out. In Nobody versus the Experts, y'all. Thank you for tuning in.
Spike the eggnog?
Thank you.
Well, you know, obviously, I mean, unless you have a special kind of mask that I don't know about, the fact is, sure, when you're eating and when you're drinking, take the mask down, but to the extent possible, keep it on when you're in an indoor congregate setting.
Dr. Fauci, as you advised the president about the possibility of new testing requirements for people coming into this country, does that include everybody?
The answer is yes, because you know that the new...
The answer is yes. It includes everyone to be tested. Do you guys get where we're going here? How do you feel? How do you feel about your favorite doctor, Savory? How you feeling over there? You okay?
Yo, why you did this to me, man? It's Friday. I'm trying to. This man, I feel the same way.
This is a great way to close the week. What are you talking about? We have to listen to the expert.
What is this man talking again? Like, look, this man is not to be trusted. He is, we have so many inconsistencies. Let me take us back. Let me take us back with some reality check, right?
Did you just say we can't trust him?
Yeah, we can't trust this man, man.
This guy is the head of the what is it that he's the head of? That he's so important.
He's the head of 15 days to slow the spread. He's the head of 1 mask, then 3. He's the head of no gain of function. He's the, he's Dr. Flip Flop, you know? And again, it's not because I disagree with him, I tell people, it's consistency. If you really believe this, you play too much political games. Like this, the partisan in him cannot be hitting no more because it's out and up front, and that is the part that bothers me. There's doctors who I can disagree with, and I'm like, okay, I see what he's saying. He generally believes that. I believe this man, to cap it here, generally doesn't believe what he's saying.
There was
and
somewhere
that's scary to me.
There was some place where I think he said he is science or something like that. I don't know if I'm over exaggerating that, but hey, that's our favorite doctor there. We have to listen to the experts, Xavier. Come on, stop, misguiding the audience here.
New regulation, if you want to call it that, is that anybody and everybody who's coming into the country needs to get a test within 24 hours of getting on the plane to come here.
Well, what about people who don't take a plane and just these border crossers coming in huge numbers?
That's a different issue. For example, when
that's a different issue. I love this. Say, what do you think of that?
By the way, I muted myself on purpose. This time I muted myself on purpose. Usually I don't want noises to come around, or I'm gonna click on something. I want to make. Look, what's that? What's that called? That's called politics, right? He's avoiding a question because the political idea of the border now, people coming in, he doesn't want to. He's like, I don't know what he says next, but I do want to hear it now. We in this far.
That's a low blow. You saying that answer is politically motivated?
Yeah, because he's protecting the border.
Let's see where he goes here.
We still have Title 42 with regard to protection at the border.
Oh,
so there
God,
are
Title
protections
42
at the border that you don't have the capability, as you know, of somebody getting on a plane, getting checked, looking at a passport. We don't have that there, but we can get some degree of mitigation.
Is there something to do to
what's
test
Title
these people
42 though?
somewhere
What
else
you do?
There is testing at the border under certain circumstances, as you know.
As you don't know, you don't know.
They're not being tested by the federal government. You are mandating Americans to get tested, get vaccinated, and all that stuff, but you're not mandating this on migrants. This is no shot at them. This is no, problem with them. It's a problem with our government and their inconsistency. Guys like doctors like this are not consistent.
Bro, he's not. He hasn't been in the medical field dealing with patients. None of that. He's just been he's more of a politician than a doctor. People don't like when I say that's the reality. Think about how many years he has in office. And I say he's in office, the position of office that's more political than it is medical. Somebody said, y'all know they're busting them into, this is we the people. Yo, welcome, brother.
Welcome.
Y'all know they busting them into Florida and other places untested. Yeah, to probably get those cases up there and make y'all look bad. I won't put it past them.
Here's a plug for We the People. They have a Rumble and they have a YouTube. So be sure to
we just connected with them recently.
And give them a watch, give them a listen, and hey, give them a subscription or a follow and click on their notification.
Yep, on TikTok too. Yep.
We can go all day about Mr. Fauci, Dr. Fauci, whatever you want to identify him as, but I just don't understand how it changes for flights to changes for people on the feet crossing the border. I mean, I don't know if I'm being overly simple and just you're deplorable over here.
Too much common sense.
Yeah, I don't get it. Check this out. What Miss Jen Psaki at the White House press secretary said in a briefing. She was just speaking here right after Fauci in the same day on December 1st. Check this out.
The question from earlier about messaging, whatever happened to President Biden's promise to shut down the virus?
We're working on it, Peter.
There's another.
We're working on it. Wait a second. That's explosive to me. Whatever happened? Y'all was gonna strong on this virus. What happened? Wow. What is going on here, Savory?
Out of control. Again, she's not giving no answer though. That's what bothers me. It's like, what I'm saying? Like that's a way to give no answer. It's like, well, what are you even saying right there?
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to see what she keeps saying. Yeah.
Variant here is the idea that you want people now to kind of wrap their heads around, that the president, instead of shutting down the virus, is going to try to help people live amidst the virus and go about their lives, but COVID is going to be here.
Well, Peter, what's very important for people to understand, and all of you are communicating to the public about what steps they can take to go back to normal or go back to normal life, something everybody wants to do. We're all sick and tired of this virus. But we need approximately 20% of the population or more people than are currently vaccinated to go get vaccinated and go get boosted. What we can do as the federal government is make those vaccines free, make the boosters free, make them available. The president will talk more about what we're going to do.
And mandate people to get it done, right?
Yeah, she won't use that word though, because she says she doesn't want to. You know, how do you answer questions in that manner? This is why it's confusing, right? Because there's so much protecting their own. You know, they're protecting their own to not make mistakes. That this administration is
Right.
is not mobilizing themselves to take any kind of risk, right? They're afraid, right? They're hard to criticize at times because they stay so low, right? I want to show a quick clip to give an example of what she always does.
Yeah.
210 jobs just added, so 210,000. So if we look at that breaking news right now, that's a number that feels a little off?
Well, I know this sounds a little archaic, but I can't comment on them until 9:30.
This is hilarious right here. I mean,
Bro, I can't comment until night. This is your job. What they're gonna tell you at 9:30? They're gonna give you a good excuse on why they're gonna get. You can't think on your own really quick. Can't give anything. You see, they protect themselves. I just want to give that example. You can see how their administration moves because it's like, yeah, this is insane.
well,
Anyways,
whatever
yeah, let's keep
happened to
moving.
100 days to slow the spread and just wear a mask? If you would just wear a mask, you could save a lot of lives. Whatever happened to that? We're trying, Peter. We're trying. We want to go back to normal. We all want a little bit of normal. Yeah, we all we can do is provide this. We need 20%, more than 20% of the population vaccinated. I thought it was the masks that saved lives. Now it's vaccines. What else is going to save? Boosters now? I mean, guys, the goalposts
The goalposts will
continues to move
continue to
forward.
move. Exactly my thoughts.
So
There.
here's more from that briefing.
to help us continue to fight the virus.
Last one, a lot of talk about the first Trump-Biden debate today, but at the second one, in 2020, when roughly 220,000 Americans had already died of COVID, Joe Biden said about Trump, anyone who is responsible for that many deaths should not remain as president of the United States of America. Is that still the standard now that more Americans have died under President Biden than President Trump?
Need e-commerce for your business?
Oh, we got to add here.
We gotta add.
What? I feel ads are like trolls.
Well, that's perfect right there. Is that still the case? Stay tuned right now. Is that the case? What is she gonna say right now?
I mean, what can
She's not
she
gonna
say,
directly
Savory?
answer it.
What
She's not gonna
can
directly
she
answer.
say? You had your boy over there opening his mouth saying, "Oh, this kind of president under losing this amount of people should not even be, the president." Is that still the standard? Even though that more people died under this administration than the previous, where the previous didn't even have a vaccine, didn't even know what was going on. They didn't know
course
the
it's
full
not the
extent of
standard.
everything. You guys were served all this information, all this they were debriefed obviously on what they knew about COVID, and yet more people die under you. Here's
See
what
what she
here's what
says.
she has to say.
The fundamental question here is, what are you doing to save lives and protect people? And the former president was suggesting people inject bleach. He apparently, reportedly, didn't even share with people he was going to interact with that he had tested positive for COVID himself. He continued to provide a forum for misinformation, which probably led to people not taking steps forward to protect themselves, to wear masks,
Injecting
to
with
eventually
bleach.
get vaccinated. This president has made the vaccine widely available. He's relied on the advice of his health and medical.
She just walked herself into a hole there. She just
Yeah, that's
walked
crazy.
herself into a hole because again, you're saying, "Oh, this president made it widely available." How now the question could come up. How? Because of the previous administration. You can't avoid the fact that the previous administration gave y'all a layup. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the mandates, vaccines, whatever. I'm not saying all of that. I'm just saying you were literally giving the keys to how to handle all this, and yet all these people die under your leadership, and she had to answer to that. What do you
She
think,
got
Xavier?
she has nothing to say though. It's, again, because when you get used to playing this much politics on an important issue like a
Mhm.
virus, southern border, which we're gonna get into, and all the when you get used to playing politics, you have kind of rehearsed answers, or your opposition is based on the optics, right? It's based that's what politics does. They build an optics of how President Trump looks. They attack that, but if they don't hold themselves to that same standard,
No.
again, it's
And why
politics.
would
So
they?
it's
Why would
crazy.
they? Now it doesn't matter. We said what we got to get in here. So it doesn't matter
Hmm.
how we handle this going forward, but we'll figure out a way to get reelected. That's what they do. And on December 2nd, we have more of Jen Psaki, and this is where we're going to turn into our southern border conversation in just a few moments.
Immigration question. The administration announced today that the U.S. and Mexico have reached a deal to restart the Remain in Mexico program that was started under President Trump. This is something that your administration is fighting in court. The president, has railed against this policy. He's called it dangerous, inhumane, saying it goes against everything we stand for as a nation. Just wondering if you can reflect on how he feels about having now to see this move forward now.
Well, as you noted, Mary, Secretary Mayorkas also and the president have repeatedly said that this program has endemic flaws. It has imposed unjustifiable human costs, pulled resources and personnel away from other priority efforts, and failed to address the root causes of irregular migration. Deeply flawed.
So we gotta uncap that there. But before we do, this is where I'm kind of going here. You have variants coming into this country. You have people who are infected not being tested at the border. You just let them in, but you hold the American citizens to a real high standard that they have to get vaccinated, they have to be tested, they have to be quarantined, and so on and so forth. And yet you're saying these kind of policies are inhumane, and it's this for me. Not only does their answer sound political, but it's actually against science. Check
Hmm.
this out here. I want to share this clip here of the doctor who discovered the Omicron, and check what she had to say about this. I want to
Oh,
roll that clip for the audience just so that we're on the same page. Check this out.
Will have it with very mild cases. What's your assessment of how the world has reacted to the news coming out of South Africa about the Omicron variant?
I think it was an overreaction. I do understand that there's a lot of mutation in this virus. I do understand that it might be much more fast spreading than the Delta variant. But if you look, I think what one needs to do, there's two types of, and people who are medical, in the medical field will maybe understand better what I'm trying to say here. So you get two types. You get the scientists, and we need the scientists, and it's important that we get the input from the scientists. But while the scientists wait and are busy doing their work in the background, unfortunately, the patients doesn't wait. The patients comes in. And you need to alert your doctors and say, listen, there's something happening. There's something going on. Look at it. See what you can do. So and then telling the world this.
Yeah, so basically she's saying it's an overreaction. People
hmm.
are literally getting way out of hand with banding and doing all this stuff, or even doing travel bans. Like there's a travel ban in the sub-Saharan area of Africa and other countries to slow and mitigate this spread. When she's saying, and Governor Hochul at the beginning saying, this is mild case, this is a mild symptoms. It may be fast spreading, but you know what? Now nobody really needs to be hospitalized. So these are the things that I really get baffled on, Savory, and I don't understand how we got here in the first place. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and again, this is where politics comes in, where we pretend like we're following science, but we're actually ignoring the science in order to push the agenda forward
Excellent
of
point.
control, mandates, and all that. But you got to play the game like you're following the science, but you only follow it when it's convenient. When you're caught not following, you ignore it and talk about why you did follow it before, right? You play this political game and you wonder why so many people have distrust. Like, in my job, there's just really quick what's going on in my job. They're doing the mandate. They stopped. the OSHA thing, they kind of regrouped, and now they're doing it again, right? Because they're getting more pressure again, right? To actually mandate this, which they have the right to do, like we discussed, as a private business, but they're only doing it. Why? Because of the federal pressure, which just
the
sucks, man.
federal. So, and again, they can't simply, like you said, we were talking about off air. They can't just simply say, "Oh, that the federal government is actually pushing us to do this." And as we
Yeah.
know, they can't do that because the federal government, the Supreme Court, actually rejected them to cancel. Actually, yes, they said that they put a stay on the vaccine mandates. They said no, this is a violation
Yeah.
of the
It's
constitutional
a,
rights.
it's a
So
temporary suspension to you actually doing that, you know. And another quick thing before you go to that video, this is an interesting comment here, and I agree with that. I've been talking about that. Redefine terms. What that means is you have words like vaccination, right? Virus, how it spreads, the actual booster. Then you start to define what these things mean and the requirement of it, and you get control, and it gets out of hand. You get more control over the situation, and people don't know what none of these things mean. So what you do, you just follow.
And now with that, and with all that being said, where in the world, how does not the remain in Mexico policy help us right now in the midst of a pandemic? Why cancel that? And why is it inhumane? Why is remain in Mexico inhumane? I'm curious. Why did we take this administration, take this position, immediately strong arm it, cancel it, and now you have all these migrants coming into this country, not being tested, not being vaccinated, and they're being transported via bus to different states. I don't understand what's going on.
So this is where I keep emphasizing the political games that they continue to play in this country.
Why?
Because
what is the benefit?
you're causing a problem and you're bringing a solution. Right? But this is kind of dumb what they did, because the solution you brought was the solution that already existed. So why in the first place would you take the remain in Mexico policy from the Trump era and bring it back? I figure you would bring it back your own way, but again, it makes no sense what they're doing. But again, they pretend there's no problem. When the problem gets worse, they pretend to bring another solution.
Yeah, I
because
see. I wrote in,
because in terms, before you play this really quick, look, what is the remain in Mexico policy? Right? From what I was looking at in simple terms, the asylum seekers, what are they doing? They're remaining in Mexico, right? While they're waiting for that instead of the United States. How, in what world is that controversial?
And how
unless you want some of those people to slip through the cracks, come to America, and just stay out there, whatever they might, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. It's so much today.
And you have this here. I wrote here in the notes. The Biden administration tried to end this remain in Mexico policy, but the federal government denied that request twice.
Yep.
6-3 Supreme Court decision. 6 conservatives, 3 liberals, which still expresses or conveys the split in our country, which is conservatives think one way about this and liberals think one way about this. But I want to know what's inhumane about it when it's not. This is a multi-country endeavor. This is not just one country. Why is it only our responsibility to make sure that people in Mexico are in good conditions? Why do we have to send them money when they're sitting in their country, right? We need to talk about why they even got there in the first place. And no, they're not all Mexicans trying to get into this country. So what's going on in these other countries? What is our vice president doing? What is her role in all of this? So I really, really don't understand. And I wanted to play this next clip here, Savory, because this is who's trying to figure out the reasons for the migration. And here's what Jen Psaki said at the briefing to a question that I thought was very interesting.
Many people have conveyed that, and also one of the reasons that crime, one of the root reasons root causes of crime in communities is guns and gun violence, and we've seen that statistically around the country.
Right, to your point, so when a huge group of criminals organizes themselves and they want to go loot a store, a CVS, a Nordstrom, a Home Depot, until the shelves are clean, you think that's because of the pandemic?
I think a root cause in a lot of communities is the pandemic. Yes.
That was
Go-
happening
This
before the
is
pandemic. What are you
this
talking
is a
about?
person that's trying to figure out the root causes for migration. This administration, with that answer, with that mindset, is trying to figure out the root causes of our migration. You're saying
I'm
the
not buying that.
crime that's happening in our inner cities is because of gun problems. So if you
Yeah, yeah.
remove the guns, the crime stops.
Yeah, who's buying this? If you're on the chat, like, how in the world do you buy? And if you do, just explain how. What kind of logic, right, or nonsense do you spill where you just ignore comments? What are you talking about? By the way, the question he asked, right? Those are things that were happening prior to COVID, right? The looting and all that. So by her saying yes, again, you're exposing an immense political bias. Anyways,
Yeah, and
these people are crazy.
she's doing this under the guise that, hey, we want to look into the reasoning as to why such large numbers of people want to even migrate. Why they're
Yeah.
sending 4,000 like unattended children. They're literally sending them across the border. Why are they doing this? There's so
Flying
many
them on
political.
planes. Why is the
Yeah.
administration flying that? This is, this is not conspiracy. This is facts. They have footage of it. They're taking them in the night, going there, flying them on planes to different kind of places, and whether that be in Florida or whatever other places they want to bring random people in.
And again,
Anyways, let's go.
why is it our sole responsibility to make sure the care and the that wherever how they're stationed? Because we're gonna play a Vice clip here on how it actually looks in the border area of Mexico, and it looks horrendous. I mean, we'll all agree that it looks horrendous. The environment looks it looks like freaking Skid Row. People are living in tents, dude.
That's
And
crazy.
people are getting kidnapped, people are getting killed, kids are being assaulted. There's a whole bunch of things that are going on in this area. How is that America's fault? How is that America's fault? How did they even get here in the first place? Why are they leaving their country? That stuff needs to be talked about. So I'm gonna play this next clip here. I see that my
Your screen
my
is
video
keep
screen
going.
is wigging out. I don't know if
Yeah.
that they're watching us.
Yeah, keep it moving with the video. We good.
So let's
Aquí tenemos a la compañera Onelia Alonso, la primer persona que fue llamada por la ACNUR para ir para los Estados Unidos de América. A ver, mírame para acá, Onelia.
After more than a year of waiting, Onelia just found out she's
Okay, Macho. Let's let Macho try to figure out what's going on there.
to wait in
And
Mexico
look-
for months or even years under a Trump-era policy called the Migrant Protection Protocols, or MPP.
and so I'm gonna just refresh my page.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to get him back, but they're right here. Let me just say something very interesting when it comes to this issue. This issue is so partisan that it's scary because you even have the Supreme Court, like Macho mentioned, on lines, voting on the lines. Again, I agree with the decision, not because I'm thinking left or right, it's because it's the logical decision for the country when you think about it, especially in the midst of a pandemic. So when you think of a pandemic, you think everything's going on. Do you think it's logical to think to leave the border open? You don't need an expert in the field to tell you that's not a good idea, right? You don't need someone in the field to kind of break down like, all right, this is not a good idea. So it's like, this is why it's scary. Like Macho mentioned, it is that division, even the Supreme Court, could be pretty scary. But yeah, let's get back to this.
And as you can see, these people are excited to come to this country. And the
Mhm.
question is why? If our country is so systemically racist and there's so many inherent problems in here, why are people celebrating the fact that
Mhm.
they got the call to come in here? It's when
Crazy.
narratives collide to me. So let's check this out some more. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again with another ad.
Got to deal with the ass, people. But yeah, and again, this is why there's so many ways, really quick, Macho, that the
go ahead.
systemic racism issue breaks down because they try to make it the end all be all. That's what I tell people. If you are able to argue in a sincere way and take care of the other and point at the other issues, then we can have a conversation. Most people want to make it the end all be all.
Felicia says, I think we need to streamline the process to come legally. And they've been doing this for years, for decades.
Yeah.
What changed? And what Victor David Hansen's argument is political opportunity. It means that if we grant you your way to come in here and we expedite it, rather you having to wait 5 years or 2 years, we'll expedite that for you. We'll get you in here as soon as possible. What we require in return is your vote. Is that? I mean, is that a fair?
Oh, for
assessment?
sure. And again, even without you requiring it, the systems are set in place from Telemundo, CNN. So the people coming from those countries are watching those shows. So the agenda is set in place as soon as you meet up here with your family or do whatever. They know. So they'll take the risk without having to. They don't train you in a camp. The camp is already the system of the media, you know? So
yeah,
my wife came from communist Venezuela. We paid out the, you know what, to do it right. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I'm not against migration here. This is what this country
most people
is
are not,
open for. But you have to have a process to citizenship, because if not, if it doesn't matter, then why are we paying taxes? What's the whole point? Who are we indebted to? And this is where I start to ask all these questions, because this is another case of when narratives collide. Not only with this COVID pandemic issue, where you saw Dr. Fauci saying, "Oh no, that's different. That's different. What's going on at the border and how we test and how we require them.
Don't
That's
worry about
different."
that.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We want to control the flights, the travel, and all that stuff over air, because
We want to control America. We want to control Americans, the immigrants. We want to control you guys. These people are. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let's go.
Without further ado, let's continue with this. And this is a really meaty video from Vice that it shows a lot of things.
The first group of migrants just arrived here in the Brownsville bus terminal, and it's a very emotional scene. This is a moment that many didn't even think was imaginable 2 years ago in the midst of Remain in Mexico policy. And now suddenly, their whole story is about to change.
Gracias a Dios por llegar hasta aquí a tierras de libertad.
De nada.
She's thanking God that she's in the land of the free. She's thanking God. That's a huge term of
Rightly
endearment,
so.
folks. This is not.
You know, when you come from these countries, you know, like.
So much for it being America's fault. Oh, it's them. It's America's fault why they're even migrating here. No, it's not. It's not their fault. Are we going to hold these countries responsible for their negligence over their citizens, for not feeding them? Are we going to say
it's everything America's fault?
In Venezuela, people are starving, looking to eat looking to eat rats, dirt, whatever it is that they want to do, and that's America's fault. That's America's fault. Wow, I really don't understand. I get real passionate because I asked a question in my notes here, Savory. Do they even care about humans at this point? They'll say the words, but they don't show it with action.
Yep. Congrats, I'm happy for her too, you know?
Llevaba mucho tiempo, bueno, llevo 3 años y 6 meses entre travesía y varada, en campamento, campo refugiado, en la selva del Darién. He pasado mucha angustia y estoy viva gracias a este Dios.
¿Y ahora qué le toca?
Soñar todavía. Mientras estemos vivos, vemos un futuro por delante.
But migrants like Onelia, with active cases under MPP, only represent a small fraction of those seeking asylum in the U.S. Overall, the administration continues to turn the majority of migrants away.
We are not saying don't come. We are saying don't come now.
Yeah, you see, it's just a game. It's just a game here. My video again is messing up, and for the sake of time, I'm not even going to work on it right now. So as long as everybody can hear me, We're gonna keep
Yeah, we
the
can
show
hear you
rolling.
clearly, brother. I'll close this out later and we all good. Let's go.
But they're still coming.
19 años fue mi primer intento. De ahí hacia acá lo he intentado, ya le digo, 8 veces más. Tengo 52.
The hikes,
Quiero ser libre.
the risk,
Y es
what
el,
we
el,
do to come
el
to this
sueño de toda la
country.
persona, ser libre.
For almost his entire
Everybody's
adult
dream
life,
to be
Enrique's been
free.
trying to flee Cuba's political oppression for the
Come
U.S.
on, man.
Levántate que estamos aquí. Está la familia aquí.
His experience has taught him that there's power in numbers.
Ahí dice nombre, apellido, el sexo, el móvil, la edad y la nacionalidad, por favor.
He's now organizing to try and get himself and other migrants into the camp Onelia just left, hoping to follow in her footsteps.
Yeah.
It's a common story of many
check
South
this
American
out.
countries all around the world. Common story.
And check this out what he says. She asked him some very interesting questions here, Savory.
Con el fin de que todas las personas que están dentro del campamento, cuando salgan, nosotros poder integrar al campamento.
¿Qué le están pidiendo al gobierno americano? O sea,
Al gobierno de México y al gobierno mexicano que no destruyan el campamento para nosotros poder ubicarnos igual que ellos allí.
¿por qué ahora?
He just said that we're asking the Mexican government not to destroy our encampment as we're seeking asylum. So here's the thing: is this America's fault? I would say this is the government's fault for not negotiating with the sitting president in Mexico about the remain in Mexico. What are the terms? How are we going to collaborate together? But instead, Biden
they
wanted
didn't
to
wanna
strong
do it.
arm this and said, "No, I'm ending this. Screw y'all. I'm gonna let this
Yeah,
look
yeah.
ugly like it is." I mean, this is terrible policy, and now they realize, damn, now we have to do this again because of those 6 conservative justices. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't blame the justice.
Yeah.
Blame
That's
the
crazy.
way
That's
you're
crazy.
treating humans. These are human beings.
Yeah. You wanted to keep playing this, by the way, Macho?
Yeah.
All right, cool,
Y con el cambio del presidente Biden, del nuevo programa que tiene, que nos beneficia a todos.
There it is.
Entonces, todos queremos solicitar un asilo legalmente. Todos somos emigrantes de diferentes nacionalidades, pero todos somos iguales. Y estamos luchando todos por lo mismo. Y esperamos que lo logremos. Todos los días nos estamos presentando acá para que el gobierno, incluso del campamento, sepan que nosotros existimos. Que no estamos en el programa de MPP, pero estamos pidiendo asilo. Un lugar donde podamos estar tranquilos, un lugar donde estemos cerrados, tranquilos, que nos cuiden, ¿entiendes? Las autoridades, que no permitan que nadie sufra más de lo que estamos sufriendo.
And that's what's inhumane about it. So when she's talking about the inhumanity, Savory, of what's going on in the border, the inhumanity of not taking this serious to negotiate with the other government and to say, hey, what could we do to make sure that they have good shelter?
If there's not a political twist to how they're going to take advantage of the situation, they just not, again, they don't really want a good immigration system. They want to flood the immigration system strategically to take advantage of what they need to.
Right.
Crazy.
Right.
Crazy,
And that's
crazy.
sad. And they're not respecting human values. They're not, again, and when that infamous debate, do you have that clip? I'm just curious. I just want to roll that
Yeah, we
clip.
could play
of
it.
the
I got that
infamous
clip. Let me play
debate
that.
Between the first debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And I don't know how this slipped people's minds with this whole remain in Mexico policy here. Go ahead, run that.
It's not coyotes didn't bring them over. Their parents were with them. They got separated from their parents. And it makes us a laughing stock and violates every notion of who we are as a nation.
Let me ask you a follow-up
Kristen,
question.
they did it. We changed the policy.
Your response
they
to that?
They did it. We changed.
Did not
They built the
separate
cages.
the-
Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who
we're
built the
talking about.
cages,
Let's
Joe?
talk about what we're talking about. What happened?
Wow.
Parents were
Clip that right there. I mean, it don't get any better than that question.
It's
How can you
simple.
not
It's simple.
answer
It's
that?
not
How can you
politics.
not answer that?
You can't answer that. You go to something else. Who built the cages? That's all we're asking. Let's
So
have a conversation.
You want to criticize the sitting president and say you're separating the parents. First off, that wasn't true. Second of all, if they're illegal or breaking the law, which is what they were doing at times, breaking the law, and of course, if they're getting arrested, you don't take the child to the jail cell. So yes, of course, if I get arrested right now, my son's with me. Of course, we get separated. Of
Naturally.
course.
But what would Obama do? Do you know what he
Obama
would
was.
do?
I mean, I know that. I don't want to. I don't want to jump in on your next segment here. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's not the next segment. It's actually
Oh,
something else.
okay,
I'm gonna share
okay.
that. But Obama, right? When you have the catch and release and you look into that, it was kept under wraps. The media didn't really report on it much. He was not only deporting tons of people, the reason they call him the deporter in chief, right, is because he was letting so many people in that he had to deport a lot to really balance things out. The man was deporting a lot, but again, he was letting a lot of people in. So it's hard. So people use the argument, oh, but he was letting a lot of people in. Yeah, because he had a policy where it was catch and release, and you don't really know who you're releasing out into America. They didn't have to wait in Mexico. So people would just take the risk. You weigh out risk. You're like, am I going on this administration, Obama, Biden? Go. Trump, you think twice. Whether that's a negative or positive, that's up for you to decide.
And he wanted to
these
create
policies,
a physical line in the sand, which is with that wall.
which was so
Just to say,
controversial,
look,
crazy.
we're not going to play this game. We're going to do this the right way. We're gonna filter people in. We're gonna get your information. And yes, it's going to take a lot of time because there are a lot of people who are seeking asylum, folks. And again, all roads are leading back to Obama for some reason. All roads are leading back to Obama. Make no mistake about it. The Obama administration was terrible at immigration. Terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But,
And
for
they
some
would admit
reason,
it
Trump is
themselves.
getting the
People
blame.
in their cabinet admit that themselves. They did nothing to solve that problem other than let people in and kick them out in drones. Let
And
people
putting
in,
kids in cages.
kick them out in drones, and then build the cages. But remember, nobody knew about cages until Trump. But anyways,
But they put that on Trump on purpose to say, hey, look, those probably were images of when Obama was in office. And they took that and they held it and used it and as political warfare there. That is just, you don't care
Yeah.
about people. You do not
Yeah.
care about people, period.
And again, I don't blame you for thinking that, man. But I want to leave the audience with something really interesting, right? In light of our system, right? Who we are. Let me ask you this before we roll to this sip on facts segment, right? What country takes in the most immigrants?
I'm
Any-
thinking of like a European country. I'm
I
thinking
was thinking
maybe.
of Europe. Was thinking maybe a European country too, actually. And
Yeah.
it's the United States of America. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So
Wow.
I want to share this, and let's do this transition. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me share this fun fact. We always like to leave our audience with a fun fact. We call this our Sip on Facts segment. Every time we go live, we end with this segment to leave you with some encouragement, some food for thought so you can think for yourself on how these issues kind of arise. So check this out. By a wide margin, the U.S. has more immigrants than any other country in the world. As of 2015 is the old, and it's still rising now. The United Nations estimated that 46.6 million people live in the United States who were not born there. This means that about 1 in 5, 90%, live in the U.S. The U.S. immigrant population is nearly 4 times that of the world's next largest immigration destination, Germany.
Wow.
So again, to summarize that, not only are more immigrants living here than any other place in the world, right? But we receive more immigrants yearly than any other country. And that's not counting the hundreds of thousands that we don't account for every year.
Wow.
So, you know, and I hope that opened my eyes. I hope that opened your eyes into kind of thinking about how we look at immigration. Because, again, we pretend like the U.S. is not open enough for immigrants, but it's the most open. We're just trying to do it the right way. Many are. So, you know,
I agree.
yeah, I'll leave some people with that. I hope.
We need to start taking people's lives more seriously and not use this as a political pundit. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, let me do the rundown here. Thank you for joining us. If you are on YouTube, hit that like, hit that notification bell. We go live Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on TikTok. Same handle, Savory Edition, Macho Fix. Follow us on Instagram as well, Drinks with a Nobody. We also have a Discord. We just started building. We're working on that to build a community. We also got our YouTube channel. If you're here right now, hit that like, leave a comment, hit that notification bell. Monday through Friday, when we go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you won't miss a beat. Thank you all for joining.
Please share us.
Oh, yes, please.
We'll probably be going live over the weekend on our TikTok. So stay tuned. Our lives on TikTok are really lively. And
they're getting much better.
It's like a way for us to literally give the floor to everyone else so we can listen rather than us talk. So, yeah.
Facts.
Thank you all for joining us.